Hey everybody, welcome back. We are the Help Action. We play Dungeons and Dragons for charity, and we're very, very excited to be back tonight for our 11th episode. Wow.
Wow.
To kick us off for some of our intro remarks and our usual announcements, Nero, would you like to go ahead and talk about our charitable efforts?
Yeah. Let me bring up my.
I'm pointing in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, if you're someone who's tuned in the past, you may have seen this before, probably already know. But for anyone who's new, or if you've forgotten, our charity is the Transgender Law Center. Founded in 2002, it's the largest trans-specific trans-legal organization in the U.S. Their tireless efforts to defend and advance the rights of transgender and gender non-conforming people have resulted in precedent-setting victories, including employment, prison conditions, education, immigration, and healthcare. In addition to their legal work, they also organize community-specific programs such as Black Trans Circles, the Disability Project, the Black LGBTQIA+ Migrant Project, and Positively Trans that inform and empower trans and gender non-conforming folks across America. Wow. Yeah.
America.
So consider throwing $1 or two, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but if you think our jokes are funny and that we're cool and stuff, which we are,
Or even if you don't like us and you just really want to put some money towards an excellent cause.
Yeah.
If you hate us, also give us $1.
Yes.
That'll show us.
So that it can go to them.
Show us by giving your money to someone else.
Yeah.
That's right. Because we don't deserve it, but that charity certainly does.
We won't get it. The charity will.
Alrighty. And then to talk about our socials and website and all that fun stuff, Robin is going to let us know.
So, yeah, we have, in case you haven't visited yet, we have a website now, designed by wonderful Nero. And that's got all of the links to all of our other social things on there, as well as a link to donate directly to the Transgender Law Center through our Tiltify. So you can go check that out. We also have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. That's the other one.
You're looking at me, help.
Yeah, looking at you did help. So go follow us on all of those things, please. We put some fresh new artwork from Iris up on the Instagram today, so go check that out. Some that you might see later on today. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we might spend the whole time getting Drew, the King of Jail, upgraded.
Hey, that was
You
great.
never know.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
I think the
you
only
want me
other
to
thing that we have left to talk about is the schedule for our next couple episodes. Tommy.
That schedule is going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, that's how many fingers Evan has up.
Total.
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 And then 3 more.
Ah.
Yeah, we're back for the foreseeable future on a regular schedule. That's 7 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. What is that? 10, 11? 10 on the East Coast. You might be thinking, oh, I love watching, and then I fall asleep. Guess what? I do the same thing with Critical Role and watch the rest on YouTube. So
You can also catch a lot of our episodes on video on demand on Twitch, but they only stay up there for about a week. So if you really want to dig into some older episodes, check out our YouTube. We will be uploading our more recent episodes. I think we only have up to episode 6, so we're a little backlogged as far as getting things on YouTube, but that will be taken care of this week. And you'll be able to catch up to where the party is now as of pretty much tomorrow. So that's kind of exciting. All right, are there any other things to discuss? I think we're good to go. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into a brief recap of the last episode, and then we'll begin tonight's. So at the start of the last episode, Bree decided to make her way out into the forest to do a little bit of hunting, and unfortunately her efforts were not successful. But while in the woods, she did run into a Firbolg cleric of Tamora, the goddess of luck, named Sister Garrily, who runs the Shrine of Luck in Phandalin. They walked back into town together, and Bree returned to meet the rest of her compatriots at the inn for breakfast, wherein they decided to make plans for the day. They were going to take their... I can't even do the recap with a straight face.
You can do it.
They were going to
Good
find a
partner.
suitable home for Droop, the narcoleptic goblin that they had found while exploring the crypts below the town's ruined mansion. They decided to clear out this sort of subterranean crypt in an effort to remove the threat of a violent slave trading gang that had taken over much of the surrounding area called the Red Brands that Bree once ran with. Rewinding back into the current recap, they decided to take Droop, their new goblin friend, to the local general store, buy him some adorable children's clothing and some adventuring gear, and take him to the town hall to find him employment with Townmaster Harbin Wester and their good friend Sildar Hallwinter. Unfortunately, they were not able to establish him in any sort of a traditional career path, but they were lucky enough to establish him as an internal jailkeeper. Meaning that he was interred in the jail under the guise of managing it from the inside, thus removing him as a responsibility from their hands and keeping him from being an unknown in the future.
Okay, but his official title, please.
Jail
King of Jail.
King of Jail, that's correct. Thank
He
you
is
for
the
the
king
reminder.
of all jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it. He did jail.
All of
Upon,
the balls.
upon leaving the town hall, Iris decided to go finish delivering a message and was given a bounty of 100 gold for finding and eliminating the threat of the leader of these Red Brands. At the same time, the rest of the party met with Sister Carolee again in sort of common square and decided to go say a few prayers and blessings over at the Shrine of Luck, during which time they revealed to the Sister Carolee that they were headed off in the direction of Wyvern Tor, a sort of rocky outcropping formation far to the north along the Tribor Trail where bandits had been raiding passersby on the trail. Sister Carolee then asked the party, hey, there is a town near there, and near that town there is an ancient banshee diviner named Agatha. I just tried to get a hold of her and was unable to, but I know that she likes pretty things. So she provided the party with a beautiful jeweled comb with which to sway this banshee, should they pass through the area, into providing them with information. And Sister Carolee had asked you to find the location of an ancient spellbook that belonged to a mage named Bowgentle when you were in the area. So, the party then took off northward down the Tribor Trail towards Wyvern Tor and Conyberry, the ruined town that houses this mysterious banshee creature, and made their first day's journey peacefully. That night, they bedded down for rest and were beset upon by two ogres, drawn in by the light of the fire and the smell of flesh to consume. A battle ensued, and luckily our heroes were victorious and found some much-needed rest shortly thereafter. And so we begin today's episode as dawn breaks unenthusiastically. The sky is a deep purplish gray and choked with heavy rain-laden clouds. You wake up and begin to pack up your camp. Your belongings are all covered in this thin layer of cool dew, and your breath is just on the verge of being visible in the morning chill. As the last of your belongings are packed up, the first raindrop falls. It's cool, refreshing, and brings with it that rich scent of petrichor in the forest that surrounds you. Within a few minutes, any endearing thoughts of the rain quickly sour and turn to bleaker outlooks as the drops dramatically increase in size and volume, soaking both you, your belongings, the environment, and the road ahead of you. The previously pleasantly cool autumn weather now feels viciously cold against your soggy bodies as you begin your trudge in the direction of Conyberry and Wyvern Tor.
Gross.
Ah, my hair is gonna be all messed up after this.
I think it's nice.
Well, I'm glad you like my hair, but trust me, it's going to be messed up after this.
I was lying. I hate it.
Wow! Hey!
What's the terrain look like? Is it wooded? Is it what?
Where you had previously camped was this sort of small clearing off to the side of the road, most of it surrounded by forest. That was sort of the place that the two ogres had emerged from. As you do pack up, the bodies of these two giant creatures are little more than obstacles and beginning to become foul. Luckily, it's cool and not hot outside, and the scent isn't beginning to become overpowering, but you know that scavenging animals and perhaps other creatures will soon be drawn to the area by the scent of death.
Did we search them last night? I can't remember.
I don't
I
think
don't
we
think
did.
that you did.
No.
I think it was-
Yeah.
We
Maybe
can
I
search
would-
them now.
Yeah, give them a cursory search.
Okay, go for it. Make an investigation check for me, if you would, please.
Okay. First roll of the night. 11.
11. You sort of pick across their bodies. There are very, very few items that you would regard as valuable here. There is a small coin pouch, inside of which is about 25 silver pieces. But aside from that, there's kind of nothing of value. Most of their belongings in the small sort of pouches that they wear on the sides consist of half-eaten remnants of dead things and small trinkets that they've picked up from the forest, like pine cones, etc. But many of that have been crushed in the battle and are no longer useless, or are no longer have a use.
I'm gonna look at the gross half-eaten food in the pouch and just say like, Droop would have liked this.
Droop is getting 3 hots and a cot back inside of his kingdom. It's fine.
Yeah, he's royalty now. Keep walking.
As you begin your trip down the trail, you make it no more than about a quarter of a mile before, Bree, your ears pick up something that strikes you as odd. There's... all of you hear this, but Bree in particular, you find this odd. It is the hooting of an owl, which is strange primarily in that this is occurring well after dawn.
All right. Does it sound like it's coming from the woods or something?
Yeah, as you make your way down the trail, northward, down and northward is always a little confusing for me, but
Yeah.
off to your left, to the western side, there's a large sort of embankment of these gnarled spruce trees, and somewhere in that direction you hear this sort of hooting sound, which must be very close nearby because of the sort of white noise of the rain hitting the ground around you and the sound of your own shoes sort of slogging through the mud on the trail is not making it easy to hear much.
All right. Well, I'll say out loud into the woods, like, well, if you're gonna keep creeping around like this, you might as well come introduce yourself. And I'm gonna whistle really loud.
Okay.
For the owl.
This shrill, piercing whistle just sort of echoes and hangs in the air in a moment, like the only note that you can hear in the white noise of the rain. And there seems to be no response. But a few moments later, you see this black shape of outstretched wings that is gliding across the sky in your direction, as the broad head and spade-like tail shapes that are unmistakably owl-like, even in the pouring rain. And as the creature dives directly towards you, it fans out its wings, breaking against the air and in the rain, and alights on a stump nearby the road, just next to you.
Well,
as you look at it, it has this jagged, almost hooked and barbed beak, and a strange third eye just above its beak in the center of where its forehead would be.
Whoa.
These features are familiar to you, Bree, but strike a deep, uncomfortable resonance among your peers. This is not
there,
a
like-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there like something in the water table around here? Because wow.
Yeah,
Best-
probably.
I guess we should just put it down.
Okay. All vouch for the weird owl, okay? If we can have Kevin, we can have Weird Owl.
Is this
Maybe they can fight?
yours?
Is this? Yeah.
The creature sort of shakes its wings off in the rain and puffs its feathers up and sort of tucks its neck into its chest as best it can. It lets out this sort of like sound as it sort of shakes its head and droplets of rain shake off of it.
Well,
Well,
that is pretty cute, actually.
I'm Bree, and you live with me now.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer an arm for him to jump up on.
I'm gonna
The
prepare.
owl sort of looks to you, and then its head rotates fully around behind it and glances back at the forest once more, and then back to you as it jumps off of the stump and then just sort of waddles across the ground and takes just 2 quick wing flaps up to land surprisingly lightly on your arm for a creature at this size. It is almost half your height.
Wow.
Cool.
As a creature created for flight, it weighs little to nothing, and its talons grip strongly around your forearm.
Sweet. Well,
It's eating her.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like
Like-
you're in serious danger of being carried away to a nest
Yeah.
of some sort.
We're like 6 feet away. Like, what's going on?
And for
Do
the
you
rest
need
of
us to
you,
hold
you just
down?
watched Bree yell into the forest for an owl. It flew out and came and landed on her arm. And
Yeah.
so-
After she said, "You live with me now," and it seemed to think that was an okay thing to say. Bree, do you know them?
I mean, kind of. He's, I mean, like I said, he hasn't properly introduced himself, but he's shown up in a couple of dreams and, like, you know, said some spooky stuff to me about being a landslide and something about a baby and a spider. You know, like pets.
Okay, I just wrote your name down and circled it.
Good. He really did.
Those are my experiences right here.
Oh,
Cool. So, how's this thing gonna get along with your cat, though?
Right.
yeah, Ripper, come on out.
How's Ripper doing?
On the one hand, cats do like to eat birds, but on the other hand, this bird looks like it could probably eat Ripper. So, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they could combine and be like some sort of like super team.
Oh man!
In
The-
hearing his name, you do see sort of just the small, almost inverted Y of a feline face just poke its nose sort of out from under the flap of your backpack and then sort of press its way in, the top of the flap pulling the ears of Ripper back and giving it that sort of wide-eyed expression as it, and the 2 ears pop up, looks around for a moment, and then does its best to sort of pull itself back into the pack as soon as a few fat raindrops just sort of land right on its head.
Yeah. You know, we'll maybe we'll introduce them to each other in like more like temperate climes or something, like where they're both comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will agree. It would be cool if they became friends.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Anyways, it's a pleasure to meet your new friend. Does it have a name? Or is it just
Yeah.
like owl?
Oh, do they understand us? Do you know? How would you know?
Well, okay. I'll answer one question at a time, everybody. One, I'm going to call him Winchester because he just looks like, look at him. He looks like a Winchester.
Right, we all know what that is.
Yeah.
Flaps his wings, shaking water off, much of it landing on your face.
Okay.
This is just a joke.
And I don't know. I mean, like, Winchester, can you understand what I'm saying?
The creature just sort of swoops its head around in a few odd directions and circles, but just stares at you intently. You can see your reflection in all three eyes. There's no sort of confirmation or denial, but there is a obvious intelligence in the eyes.
All right, I'm gonna take that as a yes. So everybody, mind your manners around Winchester. All right.
Would I know what language this creature might speak?
Go ahead and make a nature check for me, if you would, please.
Cool. I got big numbers in that. So. 21.
21. This, although does not seem to be a natural occurrence or a terrestrial owl, that's kind of all you have to go on. And as far as you know, owls are not really capable of spoken language.
Look forward to being surprised magically.
I'll keep you guys updated if he, starts talking or turns into anything else or becomes evil or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Learns how to wield a sword.
Like
Would
Swordbird.
be cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Should probably
Wow.
keep going so we can get out of the rain here.
Yeah, let's get out of the rain. But that
You've
is
not
very
stopped
cool
moving.
development.
I'll say you probably continued walking with
Okay.
this. As I recall, I think you actually had a cart in your horses that you had brought into town. So, if
That's
you
right.
would like to walk or ride, whichever your choice is, loading your belongings up and heading further down the trail.
If only Kevin were alive to see this.
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin.
Well,
Yeah, wait, what happened? Is he gone?
I mean, I can bring him back, but
No.
I need to get some stuff before I can bring him back. I can't bring him back right now. I gotta buy some stuff for it.
Right.
But it still hurts all the same, I had a real emotional bond to him.
Yeah,
And
what-
I can bring him back as many times as I like, but it just won't be the same each time.
yeah, boy.
he really got smarshed.
Yeah, he... Like a bug, as much as I hate to say it. He did get crushed like a bug.
To be fair,
Next
I mean, he was a bug at the time.
Technically, spiders are arachnids, but yes.
Who knows how much?
I'll have to give him a more resilient form next time. Maybe like a rat. Maybe a... I know we can do a crow. Maybe
What about a spider with armor?
I thought you were going to say for a second a spider with arms, and I pictured a spider with two big beefy arms with a dagger in each, and that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
A
Armor
crab
also
with people
works.
arms, basically.
Yeah, I mean, what's the only way to make spiders more scary? Give them people arms and thumbs.
I mean, that is true. The scariest part about them is arms. If you add more,
Yeah, you
More
have
scary.
more, and then they're people arms, and maybe one has a tattoo, and it says mom with an arrow in it. So it's oh, that spider loves his mom, but he doesn't love many other people.
yeah, that is right where my brain was going to.
Yeah.
It's the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Continue
Anyway.
on a little bit further.
We'll
With-
explore those options later once I bring him back from the dead.
With no sign of this ruined town of Conyberry ahead as you continue onward, you do come around a bend and see that far in the distance to the east, below this sort of blanket of gray storm clouds that covers most of the sky above you, there's this thin strip of blue sky on the horizon that gives contrast to this rocky silhouette of an outcropping that looks like a carefully stacked pile of stones on top of an otherwise bare hill, far in the distance, maybe 5 or 6 miles away.
Huh.
You can see from this distance very small, almost concave blue triangles of light that shine through where you can see gaps where these stones are stacked. And you can tell there are either natural archways here or the stones are truly loosely just sort of piled.
Okay.
Based on the descriptions that you have received, this must be the visual landmark that many refer to as Wyvern Tor.
Okay. Does it? I know we're very far away, but does it look like there's any obvious movement on top of the outcropping?
Make a perception check.
15.
15. Squint your eyes, and it's hard to see with the rain sort of battering you. Luckily, there's no wind sort of blowing it into your eyes, and you're thankful for that. In addition to shielding your eyes, it's making sure that the already chilly weather doesn't have wind chill on top of it. But as you sort of peer out, no, all you can really see is this sort of black silhouette of that mountain in the distance that, because of its distance, it has faded to this almost light bluish color that almost matches the sky above it. It's difficult to tell from this distance, but as you get closer, you might have a better shot.
Cool.
So you round a bend and make your way up to this straightaway. You see just up ahead off the side of the road a wagon that looks like it has a wheel that was broken and left abandoned. Just on sort of the right side of the road. Glass, as you peer ahead, your eyes are a little sharper than others, and you can see sort of half hidden behind the wagon with its top half in the middle of the road is a body that is lying face down in a muddy puddle in the road.
Who's driving the cart? Is it Bree?
Sure.
Animal handling. Stop the cart, I think.
I do so.
Right to a stop.
There's a body at that broken cart up there.
As the rest
Does
of you
it-
squint through the rain, you can make out, yeah, there is definitely this sort of splayed out, face down body, the back half of which is sort of hidden behind the wagon. But it is covered in enough sort of mud and dirt and rain that it looks like part of the road unless you really look for it.
Would I know if this is bandit territory? Like highwaymen and such?
Based on the information that you were given and being told that it was the areas near Wyvern Tor that were sort of falling victim to banditry, and part of the reason that you came out in this direction, I would say yes, you probably do know that.
Well, we should probably check this out, but carefully.
It seems like it could be both a real crash or site of an attack and a setup for another.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't we already get tripped up by this ruse back with the Little Toe and the kobolds?
Hmm.
I think so.
We should probably take extra caution for sure.
Can
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. Can I throw a rock at the dead body or dead? Probably dead.
I'd say you're about 50 yards away. Make a strength check for me.
50 yards. Yeah, maybe
Just
you can
huck
throw
that
something
thing.
I
150
realized it right after I
feet.
said it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be real far in. 6.
Awesome.
You pick up a fair-sized stone, maybe like the size of like a racquetball or something, and just huck it, and it just sort of hits the road and bounces off into the grass, creating a splash, but probably no more than halfway there.
Well, there's no traps that far.
You
Can't
don't
say
see-
anything about the rest of it.
And then you don't see
Can
any
I-
movement ahead responding to that.
Are there any trees, like
Mm.
is there any cover adjacent to this crash cart?
Let me go ahead and pull up a map for you to show you what that
Oh,
looks like.
la la.
Map time.
MT, if you will. MT is short for map time. This map time's brought to you by Robin. What is it brought to us by?
By Winchester Mystery Owl.
Hopefully you can see that. That should show you where you are currently.
Ooh.
And then
Look at
you can
us.
see the
Hey.
coast sort of at the northern end.
Hey, we look so cool.
Oh, we're so cute.
And
Yeah.
just to show this off really fast, Iris made little sprites for everybody.
Oh,
Look how
look at
cute
that.
those
So
are.
cute.
It was great because like I did them as like little tiny sketches. Like, okay, so do you want like a more detailed version of this? And everyone was like, no, those are perfect. And I'm like,
She's great.
Well,
just
that,
like
and
she.
especially for those of you watching from home, I mean, I think these are going to be maybe 3 or 4 pixels tall, so thankfully.
So
I
enjoy
think-
them while.
They,
Yeah.
they scale well.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll learn our colors.
Just.
Um,
Oops, that's kind of going off screen, isn't it? I need to... There, that's better.
Oh yeah. While Glass is looking around, I'm gonna like put Winchester on my shoulders and like pull his wings out with my hands so that he's like an umbrella for me.
Okay.
Starting your friendship off
As,
right.
as you do that, and he sort of spread his wings out. He sort of leans over and shelters you, and then just gives you a hard rap in the top back of your head with that hooked beak, and you just kind of pull your head back and rub the pain away.
Okay. Gee, all right, I get it.
Sort shakes his wings off and tucks him, and you feel the talons dig into your shoulder just for a moment, and then relax again.
I'll just whisper to Ambrose, just like an animal whisperer.
When did I hope to have this many pets?
Yeah.
Truly. Sorry, you were.
Yeah. Okay. Gang, does anyone want to go? Does anyone want to be invisible and go closer, or should I save that?
I'm gonna start with just. Can I look around and see if I see anybody hiding?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception
Can I
check.
assist with that?
Sure. You may each make a perception check.
all right.
Oh, all of us? Sick.
Just the two of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Perception is just one of those things you can't really give somebody advantage on because you can't both use your eyes, one set of eyes.
Yeah. I hold for
Oh,
you.
faster.
Pluck Bree's eyes and use them myself.
Just kind of stretching each other's eyes open real wide.
Good. Yeah, like that. We do good. Thank you. I rolled a 13.
13
12.
and a 12. Okay. As you sort of glance out, the only thing you are able to see that is moving is the sort of rippling effect caused by the rain falling on many of the sort of boughs of pine that are around you. The puddles in the water have that sort of shimmering effect as ripples just appear across the surface everywhere. And in the absence of wind, everything else is still.
I mean, If you want to use that invisibility spell, I would take it.
Gang, are we down to back up our invisible friend, I guess?
Sure.
You can't see me either.
Already warming up my spell hand.
Yeah.
I
All
got
right,
my
Bree.
hit stick.
Bree, just where are you going to go
Yeah,
so
good.
we're aiming in the right direction?
And I will quietly like baseball signs. I'll signal that I'm going to run across the right side on the right of the path, like just under the shade of those trees.
Okay, so
Okay.
just sort of going to hide behind the tree that is just before the cart, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me if you would, please, if you're trying to do this quietly.
That's
Oh.
I was going to put invisibility on her, and then she was explaining she's going to do that
Okay.
so that we know where she's going.
Gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and use invisibility. That'll be fun.
Press the invisible button.
I'm clicking on it. You're invisible. Okay.
Feels
Make
good.
sure.
Do you have to roll for it or anything?
I don't know. All right. I'll hold Bree and go, okay, good luck. And I'll pull an eyelash off of her eye.
Wow.
One of hers.
You know,
Yeah.
Amber has a whole tin full of those. You don't have to do that.
Shh, no. These are mine.
This is better.
Time only goes one direction. And I'll blow it into her face to make her invisible.
For now.
Yeah.
And with that, her form shimmers and becomes almost translucent for a moment before disappearing entirely, except for the faint outline of places where rainwater sort of runs off of her and bounces off of her exterior. There's this faint sort of halo of bouncing rain around an otherwise not present Bree-like form.
Okay.
All right.
I'm still maybe seeing this shadow form right in front of me. Okay.
I'm just flipping him off now that I'm invisible.
Bree, whatever you're doing, I'm getting good vibes from it. If you attack or you get hit, you're visible again.
Okay.
Good luck. Have fun.
GLHF.
DLHF.
All right. I will. Assuming that Winchester is staying behind on the on the cart rather than giving me away.
Okay.
I will, kind of dodge behind that little fractured fence there and sneak along the edge of the path up to the cart.
Okay. Go ahead and make your stealth check for me then, please.
Yes. Same thing.
So you are, when you're invisible, you are utterly undetectable by sight. However, you do still need to make a stealth check for like sounds, all that kind of stuff. So,
Sure. 15.
15. Okay. As you hop off of the cart and pad your way up, sort of behind this tree, you get a little bit closer, and you can hear this sort of low gurgling sound coming from the opposite side of the cart. And there's this sort of low, almost a guttural growling that's intermittent, and the sound of ripping and tearing. It sounds like some sort of animal has probably begun to scavenge the wreckage for food.
All right. Well, we're scavengers too. No need to elbow each other out. I'll sneak a little closer and see if I can't see who it is that's digging around over there.
Okay. Where would you like to go to?
Kind of the left side of the cart there.
Closer to the
Like
river,
just
yeah?
that. Yeah, the back left corner of it and try and peek around.
Okey-dokey.
Oh, that's a river? You say river? I thought you said.
As you sort of make your way up this direction, you get maybe, I'd say, about 10 feet away from the cart there, and movement catches your eye just sort of over the top of the cart.
Mm-hmm.
You look over and you can see, staring back at you, these two milky white eyes that are just sort of peering at you over the top of the cart. You recognize the visible upper half of the face as that of a half-orcish woman. And her skin in the sort of rainy, dim light is this chalky, pale tint of green and is spattered sort of all across the front of it with blood. The rain and mud slicks dark hair sort of down across her face and back firmly down to her skull. She then sort of begins to rise slowly, revealing herself from behind the wagon inch by inch. As she comes up, you can see that her lips and cheeks are rotten and torn away. And you can see just a row of exposed teeth in the front. And as the mouth opens, this long, shriveled tongue lashes out and cocks to one side as she hisses at you. As she stands
terrifying.
to her full height at just under 7 feet tall, although hunched. You can now sort of peer around the cart from where you stand, and you can see the half-eaten corpse that lays in the road has this sort of trail of viscera and gore that leads up to her mouth and her hands that are both sort of covered in this dark red mixture of blood and mud and rainwater. Behind this creature is another smaller one of these that sort of looks up at you now with the same set of sort of pale white milky eyes. And then stepping around from behind one of the trees is another one of these undead creatures. They smell the living, and I need for everybody to roll for initiative.
Damn it!
Shit!
Damn.
Goddamn second level spell.
Smelly.
I shouldn't have put on that
Probably.
perfume today. I got an 8.
Got 3.
Pull up some music here.
13. You go.
Alrighty, so to give you an idea of where everything is, I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative for those creatures.
Manage or take this bit.
The largest one, oops, I have these kind of moved in the wrong spots here. The largest one is the one that is closest to the road. The smallest of the three is the one that's just behind it, and then sort of back off, peering around the tree at you is another that sort of lies in between the two of them. Ambrose, what did you have for initiative?
Sorry.
What was your initiative?
Oh, 3.
3? Okay.
Yep.
Bree?
12.
12. And Glass?
13.
13. And Oleander?
8.
8. Alrighty. So kicking us off here at the start is the largest of the creatures that had sort of looked in your direction. And while its eyes don't seem to fix on you, it sort of sniffs the air and just pads forward a couple feet. The smaller of the two just sort of looks up and around and returns to its meal there on the ground where the dead body is. And I'll go ahead and draw that in so you'll know where
The
the dead body
body
is there.
Wow.
Wow, such accuracy. And then with that, it is now your turn, Glass. What would you like to do?
Do I see
From where you are, all you have seen so far is Bree sort of disappear from sight. And then this sort of hulking, undead, half-orcish woman sort of stand up and then just pad around the cart, clearly looking for something.
Okay. I think that's enough for me to assume things are happening. Well, whatever they are, they know someone's there. I will say that out loud and then hop out of the cart and just start moving towards the action.
Okay.
I guess I will, if I can make it, kind of park myself near this tree that's just north of me. The next tree up.
So just kind of up here. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to move you instead. Here we go. Boop. There.
Yes. Yeah. There's good. And
from there, you have a clear bead on the large one that stepped into the road, but the other two are probably hidden from you behind the cart still.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna give this. What is the one closest to me? It's also a half orc.
The closest one to you is the only half orc. It's the largest of them by far.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
And just say, "Hey, Stinkman!"
Its head just snaps in your direction, now being aware of your location.
You stink.
All right.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
That is a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 10.
That is a fail. Needed a 13.
Let me look at that spell really fast. Just
if the target can hear you, though it need not understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Oh, if it can hear me. It can hear. Because it heard my insult.
You're good. It has a
Resistance.
an immunity to something that is not the spell. That's all I
Okay,
can
gotcha.
check.
Cool. Psychic damage. That's not it, is it?
No.
Okay. So it takes 2 psychic damage, and then has disadvantage on its next attack.
Alrighty. 2 points of psychic damage, and then please do remind me of the disadvantage on the attack,
Yep.
because I don't
Always.
have to mark that. But you lace your words with a bit of magic and hurl them at the creature, just sort of seems to stutter and then just glances in your direction. That long tongue snakes out from behind the sort of bared teeth and lashes sort of around its face. Bonus action?
No, just I moved 25, so I should have like 5 movement left.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I'm just gonna seeing that I've got its attention, I'm just gonna and just move behind the tree a little bit more.
Okay. Cool.
That's all.
Alrighty. With that then, Bree, still invisible, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay.
And remember that you also, I need to go ahead and put Winchester on the map for you.
Oh, right. Do we need an icon for Winchester?
You will eventually, but for now we have
I
to
can
go
make one.
back at the car.
Oh my
Maybe I
god.
can make one for Kevin too.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. All right. So it might be a little bit of acrobatics, but
Okay.
I am going to invisibly hop up on the fence that I am next to in the rain.
Okay.
Thanks. I will Naruto run up to where this person is, this undead creature. And I'm going to, assuming it's facing generally Glass's direction, I'm going to try and jump up on its back and grab onto its hair and just stab it in the neck.
Okay.
Damn.
Go ahead and make a acrobatics check for me then.
Okay, that's fair. Ooh. It would have been so cool.
It would have been invisible.
I would have known.
The coolest thing that nobody saw. But also, nobody is able to see you as you jump up on the fence and one of your feet slides out from under you, sending you careening forward, about to face plant into this thing. Go ahead and make just a straight attack roll. It would normally be an attack with advantage, but due to the fact that you're trying to sort of catch yourself from your fall here with your weapon, it's just a straight roll.
Good. 12.
12. 12 just misses, unfortunately. As you sort of whiff on the way down and sort of catch yourself on the ground with your blade in one hand, you sort of land in a push-up position, not taking any sort of fall damage or anything like that, but somehow recovering from this fall rather gracefully. You're now prone. That uses half of your movement if you would like to stand up.
Also, you're visible now.
Am
You are
I?
visible. You have just
Yeah,
attempted an
you
attack.
attacked.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And as you just sort of flash into existence, the rest of you now just see Bree appear prone down on the ground, one hand down, other with a sort of back-turned short sword supporting her weight.
Great.
They must have telekinetic powers.
Yeah. That's what it
They've done something to her. Kill her.
is. Wow, you turned so quickly. Okay. I will kind of go and I will scramble up to my feet that uses my half my movement. Is that what it is? Okay.
I'll say that you've sort of used that's 15 feet to put you here, sort of behind it where you fell off the fence, and then the other half of your movement would be another 15 feet, so that's probably your movement for the turn. Stay.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just go, whoops, and stab it in the leg.
Okay. Go ahead and make one more attack then with your offhand weapon.
Right? That's 20 to hit.
20 definitely hits. Roll some damage.
All right.
Whiffing the first one, you sort of pop yourself up and then take a low sweep, trying to go for some sort of tendon or something in the back of the leg, trying to hobble the creature.
They're fighting each other.
All right, big 5 points of damage.
All right, 5 points of damage. Nice.
Man, that would have been so cool.
The creature just sort of hisses in anger at you, turns around to face you, now seeing you. It towers maybe twice your height above you. With that, Oleander, you're up. And then we have one of the baddies, and then Ambrose, you're on deck after that. What would you like to do, Oleander?
Okay. So to be clear, the one that is right in front of Bree, that's the half orc, or
Yeah, the
'Cause I'm-
A1 is the biggest one. H1
Got it.
is the smallest one, and you probably aren't, from where you are, you probably can't see H or G.
okay. All right. This is going to be tricky because I could use my Elder's Blast, but because my blast also knocks foes away, Bree is kind of in the firing line for that.
Does it always knock foes away, or can you choose to?
That's a good question.
I'm looking that up right now. You can push a creature up to 10 feet.
Oh, I can, not I have to. Okay, cool. All right, well this one's gonna have a little bit of English on it, so it shouldn't knock into Bree then. I cast Eldritch Blast at A1.
All right, go for it. Make a spell attack roll. Taking
Alright,
aim
that's
and
20
leveling and just blast out this long line of arcane energy.
Oh dear, that's gonna be a 9.
A 9, unfortunately, it just whizzes over its head. A long shot, and unfortunately a miss. Slams into the side of the cart, sending bits of wood and splinters sort of spraying into the side of you, Bree, and the creature just sort of now turns its head. It is just on a swivel now, sensing threats in multiple directions. You have your movement and your bonus action. Oleander, what would you like to do?
Okay. I don't really want to take any bonus actions since I don't really have a lot to do there, but I will move. Since it's best not to stay clumped up. I am going to move, let's see, 5, 10, 15. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to move 30 feet northeast behind that one tree.
That'll put
Yeah,
you
it's
30
right
feet?
there.
Perfect.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty, and then bonus actions, all set?
I'm good for now.
Cool, cool. Alright, with that, it is then this other ones that sort of back this direction. Their turn, hearing sort of the noise coming from this direction, is going to rush over to you, Bree, and sort of stepping over the body of the sort of dead humanoid that lies in the road. It is going to move into flanking position with its other ally. Your distraction providing it advantage on the attack. That's a 14 and a natural 20.
Yeah, those will both hit.
Well, it's. Was that one attack or two attacks?
That was one attack with advantage because it's
Oh,
flanking
I
you.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it lashes out with its teeth, trying to sink into sort of the soft spot just on your back, just above your shoulder. It's going to be a total of 7 points of piercing damage. Oh, sorry. That's 12 points of piercing damage due to the critical. And as it sort of bites in, it pulls back and pulls this long strip of flesh from just over your shoulder.
Ow!
Yeah, it has that in its teeth and just sort of starts to suck bits of your skin in. You can see blood and viscera of your own sort of marring much of its teeth. With that, Ambrose, you're up. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Get you on screen. There we go.
First, I'd like to move kind of 15 feet so that I'm in front of the horses, at least.
Sure.
I worry about those horses. And I'd like to fire a second level magic missile at A1.
Nice. Okay. So that automatically hits then, as you just sort of
Okay.
fire off all of these sort of arcane missiles that just strike into the side of the creature. Each one does, let's see, I forget, I think it's a d4 plus 2, is that right? d4 plus 1.
Mine says D4 plus 1, and I have 4 of them.
Cool. So just roll 44 and add 4 to it.
Okay. 11 and then plus 4, you said? So 15.
15, nice.
Yeah.
Big, as all 4 of these missiles strike into the side of the creature, sort of knocking it this way and that. Yeah, you deal a hefty amount of damage to it. It is now a good ways past bloodied. And you were attacking the sort of the large half-orc woman, or what once was her.
The
right?
half-orc.
Okay, cool. And then any bonus actions or additional movement on your turn? You have 15 feet left, I think.
You know what? I'm good where I am.
Okay.
I think I'm good here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Zoom in a little bit and get everybody on screen here. Perfect. With that, then, it is now the large creature's turn, who is going to turn and try to strike at you, Bree.
All right.
Would it normally be with advantage?
Yeah, it would.
So it would be no advantage because of.
Oh, vicious mockery. That's right.
right.
Okay. So just the first roll then is, unfortunately, a natural 16 for a total of 19.
Yep. That'll do it.
And as it... Oops, clicking on the wrong... Yeah, wrong creature. Right, cool. As it claws into you for a total of... let's see... It's 10 points of slashing damage. As it strikes at you with its claws, you can see the fingers are sort of long and bony, and just sort of exposed bone there. As those slash into you, you feel this pulse of something ripple through your body at the source of the wound. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Shit. Oh, come on.
It was good. Just
Um,
enough not to re-roll.
Let's see. Big 4.
4. You are paralyzed.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Boy,
Awesome.
Bree.
For 1 minute,
Oh,
and
honey.
you can repeat this saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
But as you stand there, you feel as the leg pulses with that pain, and then it locks up, and your upper leg follows, and then your torso and the rest of your body, and then your jaw tightens, and you just feel your entire body immobilized.
So I can't attack? I can't do anything?
We'll get to that on your turn. And you will be able
Okay.
to repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn, so your next turn is spent paralyzed, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
That this small one, now sort of hearing sound over in this direction, is going to stand up from its meal and lope off towards you, Oleander.
All right.
Makes its way up to you. Do I have the right thing? Yes, I do. Cool. It is going to attempt to claw at you twice. The first one is a 10 to hit, which I believe misses you. You sort of dodge out of the
Misses,
way
yep.
as its nails come at you. And the second is a 7. I rolled a 5 and a 2. So it's a
That also
both miss, and you just sort of back up and back up. Agile, light on your feet, despite the slippery mud and sucking at your boots underfoot. That is now your turn, Glass. You watch as Bree just sort of becomes a statue. What would you like to do?
Oh, that's no good. Okay. Let me look at something real quick. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to step forward, kind of to this like piece of fencing,
Okay.
so that I'm close enough to all three of them. I think I'm within 30 feet of all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna say like, okay, right now, all of you, fuck off, and I'm gonna pull out a vial of Breeze blood that I have saved from past fights, and just cast it into the rain at them.
As you do, you watch as these droplets of blood almost just spread out in slow motion, like reverse rain in this strange sort of time that is all their own. And as they sort of seek out towards the targets, they need to make a saving throw of what kind?
Charisma 13.
Alrighty. Natural 20 on the one that's over by Oleander. Natural 3 on A1, so that's a failure. And a natural 17 on G1 minus 2 is a 15. What's your DC?
13.
13. Sorry, really good rolls there. But the largest of them, the half-orc woman, does fail with that natural.
I'm the one that's about to fucking die that gets banned. Damn it.
And you
Okay,
are
I'm going
concentrating.
to. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna like then do the like, put my hands on my knees and looking at Bree like a mom on the sidelines of like, soccer, like, okay, honey, you gotta get up, you gotta live, you gotta stay alive, you can live. And I will give Bree a point of inspiration.
Okay. with the cheerful words of Glass hanging in the air, Bree, it is now your turn, which you spend the entirety of, unfortunately, paralyzed. However, as you stand next to this creature, you, despite your paralysis, feel a wave of nausea wash over you from the stench that emanates from this creature.
Cool.
I need you to make one saving throw against the stench for me first, please. This is a con save as well.
Do you get a bad roll for the next?
18.
18. Successful, and you can no longer be affected by that feature, so that's good.
Okay.
As you sort of mentally shake off without, moving your body this problem, and then at the end of your turn, you make one more Constitution saving throw to shake off the paralysis.
All right. Oh, nat 20. Okay.
Nat 20, okay. As you just sort of shake it off, you feel the life return to your limbs, and your sort of sturdy fortitude kicks in, pushing whatever sort of toxin out of your system quickly as life returns to your limbs. That is it for your turn. And with that, Oleander, you are now up. What would you like to do?
First off, thank you for not making me think about what would happen if you threw up while paralyzed. That is a terrible
I
thing
was
to imagine.
imagining
Righty-o. So
It's terrible.
I am going to actually cast. Oh no! Wait. Actually, how hard is it raining right now?
Pretty hard. Like,
Good.
good
I get to do something-
fair-sized droplets, yeah.
I get to do something cool. I use the rain to cast Armor of Agathis.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as you do, you watch as the rain just sort of alights on your shoulders, and each one just all of them sort of pop up in these sort of vertical icicles that form these large pauldrons of frost that sort of coat your body, and yeah, you have a significant amount of protection. And what level do you cast that at?
I cast that at first level. It's all I can afford right now.
I think. Do you have access to? Let me check really fast.
I have access to second level, but I burned one of my patron slots earlier. It seems like it's only letting me cast. It says that I already have one cast packed slot filled from earlier. So.
That's right. This Armor of Agathis is from your invocation, not a spell slot, right?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, cool. So you also go ahead and give yourself the 5 temporary hit points for that.
Alrighty.
And that's your action. You have your movement and your bonus action as well, if you would like. That's an action, right? Not a bonus action to cast?
Hey, that was an action. Yeah, that's a full action, but I get a bonus action. And for the bonus action, I am going to try to juke around the halfling and move north. Yeah, north by northwest, about 10 feet. So kind of like a knight's move in chess.
Okay, so... Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can just sort
Yeah.
of dodge up to there.
West, the other side.
Oh, this way. To there.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, yeah, you didn't leave its sort of range of attack there at all, so there's no attack of opportunity on you. As you sort of circle this thing, keeping your eyes on it, now you have sort of on either side of you enemies in both directions. You sort of keep your head on a swivel, marking their locations. With that, it is now this other undead creature behind you, Bree's turn, who's going to attack you again with advantage.
But it's been auto
That-
crits, I think, if you were paralyzed.
If you were paralyzed, it's an automatic critical, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was almost an automatic critical with a natural 19.
Oh,
I'm rolling really,
man.
really good for these guys. Sorry. With that, it is going to be a bite again. This time, the same one that has a taste of your shoulder in its mouth. It's going to go again for a 9 points of piercing damage as it tears again into sort of the soft part of your lower back.
Ah.
Are you still up?
I am barely up.
Wow. Okay. I'm surprised, honestly, but yeah,
Yep.
rough. Okay.
Yeah.
With that,
it
as
This
it
is
sort of
close to being not up as possible.
takes another strip of flesh from your lower back and begins to suck it down. With that,
Nice.
Ambrose, it is
She's a
now
hardy
your
little
turn.
girl.
What would you like to do?
Okay, so a slight meta question. Because I have my compendium attuned, that means I can use it in battle, right?
Yeah.
Or
It is,
do I need
yeah, it is your spell book, and then any of the abilities granted to you by it, provided they take an action or are shorter to use, you can do so.
Okay. So I would like to use my alchemical compendium to burn one of my spell slots, casting Flesh to Stone on G1 after moving the appropriate amount forward.
Okay. Flesh to stone. This is not a spell I've ever used before. Unfortunately, that's a 6th level spell, which you do
is
not
it?
have access to. Yeah, that's why I was like, I've never even heard of this spell. Is
Nice
this-
try.
Yes,
new?
that's why I figured I would
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah.
No,
Nice
yeah,
try.
that's a big
Win.
one.
Meant to be God.
So that one's in the spell book. You just,
Yeah.
unfortunately do not have access to it until you have the access to 6th level spells.
Okay, it wouldn't tell me.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I should have helped you with that when you got the thing to let you know.
No, it's okay. I should have done the extra reading for it. Let's see. I think I'll just cast Magic Missile again then on G1, but a level 1.
Okay.
That's
So
kind of suggested.
3 darts. Go ahead and roll 3d4 and add 3.
That's it.
Guaranteed damage is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
And on G1, not A1, correct?
Yeah, G1.
Okay.
So plus 3, that's 13. So
13. 13 points of damage. Nice. It is now bloodied.
Yeah.
Is it, again, just 3 of these missiles just all slam into the side of this creature, just narrowly sort of whizzing by your head, Bree, and knocking some of the your own flesh out of its jaws as they slam into it. Back to the top of the order, it is the large one's turn. Right next to you, Bree. It is going to then do its best to come at you with a bite attack. That is a 11, 14.
Minus a D4.
Minus a d4 because it is baned.
Oh my god.
Minus 3 is 11, which I think misses you. Because I rolled, I rolled whatever that was and a natural 5.
Yeah, that
Big
misses.
save, Glass. Yeah, as it goes to bite in at you, you watch as this sort of like haze of blood just sort of appears and like almost pulls itself back, reminiscent of that which was scattered to the rain previously. And with that, it is now this other creature that is over on you, Oleander. It's going to try to take 2 more swipes at you. The first of which is a 20, not natural, to hit. And
That hits.
The second is a 21. I rolled a 15 and a 16, so
That also hits.
it's going to be a 8 points of slashing damage on the first one, and then 4 points of slashing damage on the second one.
12 in total.
12 in total.
Okay, well, in that case, it's time for my favorite spell of all. I cast Hellish Rebuke!
Nice. And then that's a dex save, is that right?
That is... Oh yeah, that is a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on the failed save, or half as much damage on
On
the
a natural 4, it fails. Go ahead and roll those big d10s.
Oh! Rolling them bones! Oh, baby, that is double 9s! 18 points of damage.
Is it 2 or 3d10?
It's, it takes 2d10, or no, here we go, 3d10 damage.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll 1 more d10.
Ooh, God. Oh, that's a 2. Well, 20 points
20,
of damage
that's
is still
still-
nothing to sneeze at.
That's nothing to sneeze at. 20. Bloodied. All three of them now bloodied in a very, very quick turn of events. The battle has gone from looking really problematic to you guys might be able to squeeze this one out. All right, with that, it is now your turn, Glass. Bree, you are on deck, and Oleander, you're after that. Remember, Glass, that you're concentrating on Bane.
Bane. Yep. I'm gonna give Mr. G the old crossbow bolt. Crossbow bolt. I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
I
I was like, what spell is that?
It's French. All right. Okay, that is a 20 to hit.
20 to hit. Yeah, that'll hit for sure.
Cool. And that's 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Nice. And that was G1, is that right?
D1, yeah.
Alrighty. Crossbow bolt just sort of appears in the side of its forehead, and it just snaps its head sort of back into place. One of its eyes, as you stare at it, Bree, just sort of seems to roll and look off in the direction of that bolt. It is looking very, very rough and very close to death again.
Cool.
With
That's
that, bonus actions or movement, Glass?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. And it is now your turn, Bree, after shrugging off all of that pain and barely hanging on with a single last shred of life. What would you like to do?
That's right. Okay. Well. Okay. I know we talked about this earlier today, so I apologize, but if I call in Winchester and he uses my attack, can I use my bonus offhand attack as well?
I would say yes. So you
Okay.
would be able to have him attack and then take one offhand attack with your sword.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Since
Okay,
it says
cool.
if you take the attack the attack action, you can forego one of your attacks to allow it to attack.
Right.
And then you
Okay.
get that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh boy, what do I want to do? I think that. Damn, I don't know. Actually, maybe I'm not going to do that. I am going to. Yeah, I'm going to take a swing at G1.
Okay, go for it. It is the roughest looking of the bunch at this point.
Yes. That's 21 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits. Roll some damage.
All right. That's 8 damage.
Give a sort of mad flail with your short sword. How do you want to do this?
Yeah. All right. Phew.
Yeah.
Okay. Barely hanging on to life myself. I will, stab into this thing's like knee or whatever is at my height, and then like kick my sword in just like over and over again.
Okay.
I picture it in like
G1
Lord of the
now
Rings or
dead.
Game of Thrones or something when like there's the warrior in the middle of the battle and then like the music goes away and he's just like,
She's like, the king pulls his helmet off.
yeah, then you just hear the, you know, like,
Perfect. You still
like
have
that.
your bonus action offhand attack, or any bonus action you would like. You can use that to
Right.
command Winchester or take your offhand attack or whatever you'd like to do. And then you also have your movement. What would you like to do?
Right. Okay, again. If I call Winchester to move over move over to where I am. Will that be my action?
Bonus action.
Or my
He
bonus
can moving him doesn't require anything.
Okay.
Issuing a command to do any of the sort of actions that he has does require your bonus action.
Okay. Gotcha. In that case, I'm just gonna whistle at him and direct him to fly up and basically just flank A1 with me.
Okay. Using 40 of his 60 feet of movement, Winchester just sort of takes to the air and just sails over. And as he sort of reaches, just breaks in the air, spraying rain, and just hovering aloft there. What would you like to do with your bonus action then?
Yeah, I guess I'll have Winchester attack.
Okay, go for it.
Really?
You have his stat block there for you?
Yeah, so he is... So, hit 15 plus...
He has advantage because he's flanking too, right?
He does, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what's cool about pet classes. You can flank with your pet. Nat 20? Nice!
Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool.
Winchester.
So
Big-
then let me look at
Yeah.
his little sheet here.
Cool.
And then, let's see.
Whatever's on the ones that I gave you that are in your extras, that where it says Winchester Alform, that has everything totaled up for you already. So it should be.
Okay. 2 right now.
I don't think that the damage that I gave that is correct though. Let me look really fast. 'Cause that says 2d6 plus 4, which is a great sword equivalent.
Oh, I'm looking at 1d4 plus 3 plus proficiency bonus.
That's correct. So it would be 1d4 plus 3 plus 2. So 1d4 plus
Right.
5.
So it's 4 plus
So
5.
2d4 plus 5. With the
Or
critical.
just-
Yeah,
Okay,
just roll 2d4 and then add 5 and you'll be all set.
Hey. Okay. 11.
11. Nice. How does Winchester want to do this?
Yeah. All right. Woo! Murder owl.
Owl death.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Just the light fading from my eyes. I will whistle Winchester over, and he will come screeching in, and talons outstretched will just scratch this guy's face up to a bloody pulp.
Yeah, as the claws rake up, sort of hooking on bits of undead flesh and peeling it from the skull and scalp where it sort of loosely hangs, this entire thing just sort of leans back. Whatever sort of undead life in those milky eyes now faded and gone as it sort of topples backwards and lands with a nasty slop in the middle of the road, just between you and Winchester, who now, looking back at you again in the rain, catch your reflection in all 3 of the owl's eyes. With that, it is now your turn, Oleander. What would you like to do? Or, I guess, Bree, you still have your movement. And Winchester still has 20 feet of movement.
Damn. Well, if I can, I'll send Winchester to go flank with Oleander, flank H1, if that's enough.
Oh, thank you.
10, 15, 20. Can you get to there?
I'll
Not in
take it.
flanking yet, but Oleander can move into flanking easily with that.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. And then your movement?
Me?
I am going to
Sorry,
sit
Breeze.
down.
Long turns with 2. Okay, as you take a... Next to the undead in the mud in the road, have a sit.
Good job.
Oleander, is your turn. Sorry about that.
Okay, can I move to flank H1 first
You
off?
sure may.
All right. And then I realize that I'm at a disadvantage here because I'm casting it so close but I would like to cast Eldritch Blast on H1.
Just a straight roll, since you would have advantage from the flank.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, cool.
Come on, make this really cool. Oh! Ooh! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll do. That's a 24.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that'll definitely hit.
Nice.
Roll some damage.
1d10 plus 3.
So good.
Oh my god. Well, that was a 1, so that goes for 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. All right. Slam into the side of this thing with.
You could-
Oops, I did 10 instead of 4. There we go. With a blast of arcane energy and using the distraction of Winchester to your advantage, you're able to land a pretty solid shot. All right. You have your bonus action and your movement. Is there anything else that you'd like to do? Oh, also.
Yeah, can I?
Did it hit you after you had cast Armor of Agathis?
Yeah, the 12 points of damage that I lost, part of those were the armor backers. I don't
Okay.
have armor anymore.
Yeah, so when that happened, and I'm retconning this because I completely forgot, the armor exploded, sending icy shards into this creature, dealing
Yeah, it takes 5 cold
points
damage.
of cold damage. Not enough to bring it down, but definitely enough to help.
Right. For my bonus action, can I just kick it in the head really hard?
In the head,
halfling,
just like...
And I'm a tiefling, and I'm like tall. I've got the height advantage. I'm just gonna try punting it.
You know
Like,
what?
you
Go
can't
for
have
it.
any
Yeah,
points
it's an
back.
unarmed strike. You're not proficient with those. It'll be 1 point of damage if you can land it.
That's fine. I just want to prove a point. Oh no, that's. Oh, honey, that's a 3.
My God.
You've proven a point.
As you go up to kick, you realize that you left... Forgive me, this is actually a character detail that I'm not sure of. Do you wear shoes or do you have hooves in your tiefling nature?
Oh golly.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
I feel like I've seen
That's
it.
a good question. Let me check my.
Are we gonna get Twitch banned for me asking you to describe Oleander's feet?
You mentioned her boots before.
That's
Oh,
true.
No,
The
yeah,
second into
she
the boots.
she wears shoes all right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. As you go to kick, the boot stays lodged in the mud underfoot, and your foot pulls about halfway out of the long, high boot and just sort of gets caught in that, and you just stumble forward, not making contact, and half out of your own shoe.
Oh my god.
All right. Anything else on your turn? You have the rest of your movement if you would like it.
No, I'm good. I'll just stand here mortified. I don't think I can process anything else right now.
Okay. With that, Ambrose, you're up. What would you like to do?
I would like to remember all the times that people made fun of me for not wearing shoes as I see this happen. Okay.
I
You know
just had an
what? I'm just
awful
gonna-
mental picture of satyr legs with feet. I don't like it.
Oh man.
It's just hobbits. No, thank you. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I'd like to just cast Magic Missile again. It's useful. It's good.
Yeah, it's
I
good
love this
stuff.
song.
All right. Cool. On H1, so go ahead and roll
Yep.
first level again.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and roll your 3d4 plus 4.
Cool. Well, plus 3.
Plus 3, pardon me.
Yeah.
That's right.
How dare you? Oh shit! Don't drop it. Shit. So that's 11.
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 hit points left. How do you want to do this?
Wow. What's the grossest way for this thing to die?
I think you can manage.
Well, with no, like, you know, no, what would you call it? Consideration for other people's dry cleaning bills.
Oh.
I'd like to just
No.
shoot as just
Winchester.
all of my bolts towards the face of this thing. I want to see if I can make this thing pop. like an awful
Gross.
Give us a scanners, Ambrose.
As
Gator style.
as your arcane little missiles of energy just sail off through the air, curving around the large spruce tree that sort of blocks your view of Oleander. You have plausible deniability. You didn't know she was there. They slam two on one side, one on the other into the side of the head of this last zombie-like creature, effectively caving it in half, like folding it like a piece of paper around some heavy object slamming into the side of it. With that,
Hamburger or hot dog style?
we'll go hamburger.
Ah,
Mm.
sloppy Joe then.
Yeah.
Mm.
A large splatter of grayed, decayed matter spreads out across both you and the sort of tawny white coloration of Winchester.
Oh,
As the last
sorry,
of
Winchester.
these undead creatures falls to the ground, returned to proper death. And that is where we'll go ahead and pick up after our break as we investigate the rest of this area and allow our party just a little bit of time to recuperate after, being very close to death. We'll be back in about 15
I feel
minutes.
fine.
It's 8:31 p.m. right now. We'll be back at 8:45. So we'll see you here in just a little bit. And hey, don't forget, if you have time and a little bit of cash to spare, please go ahead and use that donate link, or you can go to thehelpaction.com to donate as well. We always read all of our donors' messages at the end of the stream too, so if you want to leave us a cute little note, we'd be happy to read it as part of our show.
Make us
Thank-
say dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, make us say poo poo.
Ooh,
I mean,
You have
yeah.
that power.
I'm not going to say it again unless I have to.
All right. Bless you all for watching. We'll be back in 15. Take care. everybody. Welcome back to the Help Action where we play D&D for charity. We had a bit of a tight battle right before our break here. The party had made their way northward from Phandalin, taken a brief rest, been set upon by ogres, woken up the next morning, found a wagon with a dead body lying in the middle of the road that was being eaten by a horde of undead creatures. After narrowly pulling out a victory against these zombies and similar undead creatures, they now sit here in the pouring rain, contemplating their choices with the sort of setting of this cart before them. What would you like to do?
Normally, I would say we should rest, but this weather is fucking disgusting. And also, I feel fucking disgusting after that.
You did kind of have a big zombie head explode right in your face.
Yep, like a water balloon full of gore.
Can I bring the horses forward to some shade and take a glance at Oleander and then look away?
Just sort of pull them up next to the rest of this action. And having seen apparently worse, they don't seem too terribly spooked by the situation here. As you pull them up next to some of the bodies on the ground, you see a few of their eyes sort of widen and a bit of a start, but no bolting, no running. They seem like good, sturdy creatures.
Man, D&D horses are hardcore.
Yeah.
That's right.
I would be screaming. I'm gonna walk up to Bree, who last I recall is sitting on the ground.
Sitting on the ground. I'm now that I see that all the baddies are down, I'm just like, woo! Yeah! All right!
The rain
You,
is still pattering and sort of slapping you in that area where that large patch of flesh was sort of ripped off over the top of your back shoulder.
You dropped your blood. Okay. All right. I'm gonna come over and just like kind of crouch down and just pet Bree on the shoulder.
Where it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then part of the normal shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You did it.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. Man, what did they do to you when you were invisible? All we saw was like you came back and you were on the ground. It's like, oh no, should we kill her?
I wish. What was that last part?
I thought maybe you had turned or something. I don't know. I thought you were working with them. I don't know. Whatever. Go on. What happened? What happened?
Oh man, I wish you guys had seen it. I ran up and like did a backflip off of it, and like was like being really cool.
Backflip.
Yeah, I did a backflip off
Okay.
of it,
Yeah.
and then I was doing push-ups
Okay.
in front of it.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen you do enough cool shit that I have no reason to doubt that.
I'm gonna do it.
1000%.
Do I believe her?
Make
Roll
a
for
deception and
deception.
insight check if you'd like to.
I would love to make an insight check. Okay, it's 20.
Make a deception check, Bree.
Good. Truly my forte. That's a 14.
No, you do not believe her.
Yeah.
Backflip. Yeah? And then push-ups.
I'm gonna like start crying again.
That's rough.
I rest my case.
I have a potion of healing in my bag in case Bree wants it.
I have 10 good berries that I will eat all at once.
Imagine Bree saying that to us.
Enjoy your berries. Enjoy your
Are they
weird
good?
berry snack.
How do they taste?
I just hold them in my hands and just eat them like this.
You have this sort of deep, almost maroon berry juice around your mouth, and for those watching, there is an instant recollection of the undead sort of pulling up with blood all over their mouth that
Oh,
gives you
one
a
of
bit of a
them!
shudder.
No,
They were berry zombies, of course.
the berries were already dead.
Oh, thank God. I thought they were live berries.
Neat.
Underneath the one undead that you had killed, behind you, Bree, is the half sort of exposed into the road body that you had initially seen. And from where you are now, you can see that the form and size of it is halfling.
Oh, a countryman. Can I go take a closer look and just see any identifying anything on him?
Yeah, so let me grab my noteses here. As you sort of poke around the body and flip him over, and you sort of jump back as you see that worms and other small parasites have taken his eyes.
No.
But the body has not yet begun to decompose. It's not quite that old yet. However, it is clear that nature has sort of set in on returning him to the earth in other ways. His clothing is simple. It's just this sort of bone-colored tunic stained brown with dried blood, blackish mud, all of it sort of difficult to discern what is dye and blood and mud here in the rain and the muck and the mess. His belt, where there would be, or where his belt rests against him, on one side is cut clean through with a knife. Looks like someone probably relieved him of a coin purse that might have been hanging there. And his right hand is just this sort of bloody stump. It looks like it was severed rather cleanly in one smooth motion.
Believe we heard about this was the bandit's trademark up north of Phandalin.
It's pretty brutal, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I don't say Jesus, obviously, but that's pretty brutal.
This is.
Do these bandits make zombies? Or whatever I say, make undead?
I can't help but think that that part's unrelated, but I don't
Yes.
know.
It seems like the last thing you'd want after robbing somebody and killing them is having them up and walking around again. I wonder what caused the zombies. The undead.
Zombies are zombie is not an uncommon term.
Oh, okay. The zombie undead.
Yeah.
The zombies. Undead. Do you think they might have just come after separately? Which, if that's the case, are there just zombie mines around here?
Can I roll for Arcana to check to see what I know about zombies?
Yeah, I would say Arcana or History. And I'll give you an answer that sort of correlates to either category.
Okay. Let me go with Arcana, because I'm probably going to know... I both of the stats are the same for me, but I'm probably going to know a little bit more about Arcana. Ooh, yeah, that'll do. That's going to be a 22.
22. You are aware that the nature of undead creatures, in that many different effects can cause them to raise from the dead, is one that depends mostly on chaos, but does usually start from either the practice of some sort of necromancy, or can just be an occurrence that is caused by the random lashings out of some sort of evil deity. You, with an Arcana check, you know that there are certainly spells and magical effects that can cause someone to turn lifeless bodies into undead. And you know that this magic is powerful, frowned upon in many, many, many cultures, but not entirely impossible or uncommon.
Okay. So, yeah, if this is related to the bandits, then they're going to have somebody with a lot of juice on their side, a necromancer of some sort. So we should probably tread carefully. It could not be them, too, but better safe than sorry. It just seems odd that somebody with that much power would be running with a bunch of highwaymen and women and highway people, I suppose. I don't want to be gender specific here. Highwayists.
Highwayists.
Highways.
Yes.
Wasted jeans.
Yeah, this is some big league banditry.
Yeah, it seems like overkill just to like if I were a bandit, I wouldn't turn 3 people into zombies just to rob one person. That seems unnecessary. Spells exist for this kind of thing, but they're not something you just toss off.
Can I? I'm sorry, I missed the answer to this. Can I tell from the cart? Does it look like it was a one-man cart here, one hobbit cart?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
$14.
As you sort of peer at the cart, looking around, you take a look at the seat at the front. There are deep blade scars and very, very heavy bloodstains that have somehow not washed away in the rain on the seat here. And the first connection that you make is between the severed hand and this deep bloodstain and deep gash in the seat. This looks like probably the place where this was done. The undead that you had fought look like they are in a state of decomposition well beyond that of the halfling that is dead.
Sure.
And the contents of this cart, as they once were, are scavenged and their containers broken and scattered. There's bits of burlap sack and broken crate and a sort of overturned chest that lays in the dirt. All of them appear to be empty. There are a couple sort of soaked through burlap sacks that are still in the back of the cart that don't look like they've been gone through yet, which you can search if you would like to. But beyond that, there doesn't look like there would have been enough room for more than one person here, and whatever beast of burden was drawing this cart was either stolen, set free, or ran.
I'd like
I
to
will
search
relate
the
all
sacks in
of
the back of
my-
the cart.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Last,
Oh,
please.
yeah. All I was going to say is I relate all of this information like Batman, even though I don't know who that is.
And then,
yeah.
what did you say, Oleander?
Oh, I was going to say, I'd like to take a poke through the remaining sacks in the back of the cart.
Okay, make an investigation check for me, please.
All right.
Let's say snacks for a second.
Snack. I want to see
Remaining.
the snacks.
I want the burlap snacks.
All right, that's going to be an 11.
11. You open up one of the bags. It is full of root
dildos.
vegetables, some
Get that, Aaron.
parsnips, various sort of forest tubers.
Hobbit.
They all look relatively fresh. The potatoes and parsnips that you find, the eyes have not yet begun to grow, so you can tell that they haven't been here for too long. And In addition to that, you just kind of find more scraps of burlap, some soaked through what looks like cloth that's sort of been folded and bundled up. You can take that if you'd like to. It's just sort of a very like plain white muslin almost.
I'll take that. Yeah.
And then in addition to that, you do find a small wooden box that is among this.
I'd like to open that box.
Okay. As you do, the sort of lid just slides off, almost the way a matchbox might open. And inside are several long, dark sticks that look like charcoal, but even in the rain give a very, very strong scent to them. It looks like incense.
Okay. I'll take that too. I think I know what to do with this.
Perfect.
I can do something.
Make a cabin.
So I would say
No.
there's probably about 10 gold worth of incense there.
Okay, yeah. I pocket the 10 gold worth of incense and the white cloth.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Can I take a look at the corpses of our undead friends?
Sure.
Mostly just want to see if are they local? Did they like know each other? Where are they from?
How would you discern that?
Well, okay, I assume like if they live somewhere cold, their clothing is probably heavier.
Okay.
And if they're local, they might all be getting like their shirts from the same tailor, that kind of thing.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me first.
Okay.
This one says Bob. That one says Pete.
They say,
Well,
if
I mean-
lost, please return to Phandalin.
I can check for that too. Ooh, 19.
19. Peering over them,
They went to Coles.
based on the state of sort of decomposition of their bodies, which you can kind of tell has been largely halted or stunted by their state of undeath. They look like they have been dead, possibly even buried at one point for a long time. Any clothing that they are wearing has mostly begun to rot or fall away, or was torn or cut away in the battle or previous altercations. The clothing doesn't really reveal any sort of identifying factors to it. All that is really left on them for those that have anything above the torso are just scraps of cloth. Anything sort of from the waist down is, again, minimal at best. There's not really, it's hard to tell where they would be from, whether or not they knew them. Any sort of vestiges of their living selves are sort of erased by time and rot.
Okay. Would I be able to cast Identify on one of them to maybe learn about the necromancy that is, I assume, affecting them, or do you think that wouldn't really tell me much?
Let's see really fast. Just gonna look at the identify spell really fast and to see if it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object. You learn its properties and how to use them. Blah 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 blah. So a body is considered an object after it dies instead of a creature. However,
It's probably gone.
I would say that just because you are a wizard and you're sort of aware of all the different schools of magic, you would know that after a undead creature is no longer undead, any sort of magical effect that might have been on it is gone.
Okay. I just didn't know if there were any like special sexy necromancy flares.
Gotcha. Had you like captured one in a state of undeath and been able to do this in some sort of safe manner, possibly, but that again is sort of a stretch of the use of the spell.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good then.
Okay.
I just want y'all to know that when I was like, a working bandit, I wasn't this kind of bandit. No undead, no taking people's right hands, none of this.
I was so worried you were Sorry.
You don't have a collection somewhere that we don't know about? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna like divulge to us that like I did a little bit of this.
I like hands.
You guys want to find a cave or something?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
sort of shelter would be ideal right now. I've got a thing that I need to do that'll take about an hour, so I don't want to just stand out in the rain while I do it, you know?
Should we like kick these bodies off the side of the road at least, though?
Yeah.
Kind of cover
And
them up?
man, do any of us have like, I don't know, maybe we should leave something. I want travelers to know that there's another danger out here besides just bandits.
I do have I have like my ink and such, but I have parchment and not like a piece of wood we could turn into a sign or something.
In the rain, that might not
Yeah.
might not last.
Did any of them have weapons?
Didn't look like it.
No, just plates.
Mm.
I suppose we could find some sturdy sticks and spike their skulls onto poles alongside the roadway.
I think that might give a different.
It would certainly send a strong message.
I would rather see that before I got killed by zombies than
Like, oh, watch out! Danger.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Take it away.
And then we could use the rest of their bones to spell out something like yikes. Or look out.
It's 42069.
Oh boy.
Just a big no in bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. No! Exclamation point. I will just nod and begin hacking off one of their heads.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
The
gonna help.
some undead looking one.
Yeah.
Make a
The
strength check
halfling
for
guy, we should like bury him or something. The rest of them, I mean, they're zombies. Who cares?
They were people once.
Yeah, but then they were zombies, and then after that, you know, that's different.
They
You
already
get out of
got
the grave, you're no longer the person inside that grave. You're just a zombie.
a nat 20 on the strength check.
Yeah, one
Ooh.
big down with a short sword, and the head of the largest one that had given you sort of the most grief and caused your paralysis just sort of rolls free of the body.
Woo!
Cool.
Save it for the fight.
Jeez.
Right? Somebody want to find a big
I'll
branch?
I'll
or
find a
something?
stick.
There are the fence posts that are sort of nearby.
Yes, perfect.
Ah.
I spike one onto a fence post like a coconut onto a delicious bamboo stalk.
Mmm.
Much
So
more pleasant
I don't know why I
imagery than
said
what's
that.
actually happening.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but-
think of that really hard, so I don't have to think about what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is unpleasant work, but it is done, and you imagine that if anything, this should provide at least a fair degree of warning to any other passersby. Clearly visible from the road in either direction on this long straightaway, you imagine that anyone approaching from sort of the distance that you had approached from would now be able to give pause upon approaching.
Wonderful.
Is there
Okay.
anything else that any of you would like to do at the site before you pack up and begin your journey further?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will just tell Winchester. Good job.
Just sort of
Really keeping clutch out there.
gives a little hoot and just sort of flaps over and rests on the driver's seat of the cart. And just
I
sort
mean,
of
I
cocks
wasn't
his
gonna
head
drive. So.
expectantly towards the group of you, as if to say, come on.
All right, I'll hop up onto the driver's seat next to Winchester.
It's same rate of play.
Drag your tired bones up onto the cart. Any of you walking or all hopping in the cart?
I'm hopping in that cart.
Yeah, cart time, baby.
Yeah. I pull out my DS in the back.
As you, oops, I don't know why that decided to display that.
I don't know what you token. Oh,
That's weird.
I know.
Oh well, it's going to display a parchment texture instead of our logo for the rest of the game, but that's okay.
yeah, good.
Tiny.
Cool.
So as you hop up on the cart and begin your journey ever northward, about a quarter of a mile down the road, not too far from where you had encountered this strange occurrence, the road crests over this small rise, and from atop this hill, sort of splayed out before you, you can see the old and broken remnants of a town before you. Old stone foundations have been claimed by mosses and vines, and piles of blackened, fire-darkened wood lie where houses may have once stood. All that remains of Conyberry are its empty, muddy streets, the foundations of a few homes, and a scattering of half-toppled stone chimneys that rise from the wreckage like grave markers. You can still smell that wet earth, petrichor of the rain, damp charcoal, and wet plant matter. The rain sort of makes that ever-present white noise around you, hitting the leaves of the bushes and grass nearby, and the air remains still despite the rain. You are not warm, and you find yourselves again being thankful that wind chill is not a factor here. You found Conyberry. What would you like to do?
It's a cheery place.
I will pull the cart over kind of at the start of the town. And I tell I mean, I know things are kind of grown over, but can I tell how long it seems like this town has been abandoned for?
Yeah, make a... I would say nature or survival check.
All right. Let's say survival. Ow, 6.
Okay. Planting around, based on the plants that have grown over everything, somewhere between 120.
Oh,
Okay. So, a while. Dang.
But it definitely does not look recently abandoned.
Are there any foundations that we might be able to sort of take shelter in, or at
Yeah.
least construct some sort of shelter out of the bones of?
Make a perception check for me.
can I assist? Because I would be looking for you.
Sure.
Sure.
Both of you can make a perception check then.
All right, perception. I got a 15.
Okay.
18.
18.
Ooh.
The both of you sort of scan the horizon, bits of broken homes and fence posts that have long since toppled over and ceased to contain anything. Just sort of dot the landscape to all directions. None of the roofs look like they remain standing, but both of you sort of zero in on something that looks attached to one of the nearby foundations. It looks like a set of those sort of set-in cellar doors, similar to the one that you had entered underneath Tresendar Manor. It looks like
Cool.
at least one of the cellars is there, or has been dug in the past. Whether or not it is inhabitable is a different story.
I'll look over at Oleander.
You can
Well,
always take a peek. Part of the fun
Yeah.
of adventuring is finding things out.
and going into doors that take you underground.
You know, I heard once that cellar door is the two most beautiful words in the language of common.
I only didn't say it because I mentioned it last time we were at one.
Yeah, well, yeah. That and Skeleton Christmas, but you know.
I don't know. I think I prefer
Can
skeleton
you
creatures.
imagine? Can you imagine the English teacher writing that on the chalkboard? Skeleton.
Skeleton Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, let's take a
sounds
peek
like a
inside of
plot.
that cellar there.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Hello?
we
We
lost,
lost you,
Catching?
Evan.
Okay. Which of you is making
Oh,
your way over there to pry open the doors and see what lies beneath?
I might as well. My clothes are already dirty.
Okay.
I'll go with ye.
You sort
Oh,
of
thank you.
trudge
Glass, I
over
appreciate
through the
that.
mud, leaving the cart in the roadway and sort of crossing what was once a fence line that would have marked the boundary between these two sets of properties. You traverse through some sort of waist-high bushes and then find your way over to the cellar doors. They do not appear to be locked, and as you reach forward and sort of yank them open, one of them just sort of comes off the hinges, long rotten, and the other just sort of swings open as intended.
Don't know our own strength.
Below
Fantastic.
you is this sort of black yawning pit, and sort of clinging to the near side of that pit is a ladder that descends down into darkness.
After you?
I'll rock, paper, scissors you for it.
Fair.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors.
Okay. Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh God.
Paper. Oh my god. One more time.
Rock,
Paper, scissors,
scissors,
shoot.
shoot.
Oh,
I
scissors
can't
cuts
do it.
paper. I guess you win. You got to go down first.
Damn it! I'll go down.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'll go down first.
Okay. As you sort of turn yourself around to be able to lower yourself in, placing both hands on either side of this old, sort of splintery wooden ladder, and you begin your descent down. You get about 4 or 5 rungs down when you hear a and one of the rungs of the ladder breaks out from underneath your foot. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, we're fine. 25.
20.
Yeah, no problem. Your foot just sort of comes free, and you just skip down to the next one with a grace afforded to you by your feline ancestry.
Nothing.
Like reflexes.
You descend a bit further down, and then you get to a point where, sort of looking behind you with your dark vision, you can see the reflection of a surface of water, sort of peppered by these droplets of rain falling in from above. It looks like the lower part of this, wherever the floor is at the bottom of the ladder, has a layer of water on it, the depth of which you are unsure.
Oleander,
Yeah?
I'm alive.
Heck yeah. Great
Yeah.
job. How's it looking down there?
Wet,
Oh.
but I mean, there's walls. That's more than you've got going on up there. I don't know. Maybe go get everyone.
All right.
I
Hey,
think.
Ambrose, Bree, get over here. We may have a place to camp? Maybe.
We
Depends
found
on what your definition
Conyberry.
of camp is.
like look over at Bree, and just like they found a hole in the ground, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of things that tried to kill us the last time we went underground.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can't wait for my friends to be so proud of me for being so brave.
Underground is the indoors that nature made. It's perfectly safe.
Every time you talk, I
Sigh.
see the world in a new way.
Just do a big sigh and start walking on over. What'd you find?
We found a big pit.
Oh! Congratulations. It's your pit. What are you gonna name it?
I'm going to name it Glasses Triumph.
Oh, is he down there?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He narrowly
sort of
avoided
peer over.
falling
You
off
can
the
see
ladder and breaking
clinging
his
to the
neck. It's
ladder
very
about
cool.
10 feet down is Glass, just sort of looking up at you. And in the low light, there's that sort of a feline reflection in the eyes that kind of give that sort of backlight peering out from the darkness at you.
Do you need help?
I wouldn't mind some company. So I'm still on the ladder.
You're
I'm
still
not
on the
all
ladder.
way
You have
down.
not yet descended all the way to the floor now.
And
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
No, you go.
The water that I can't perceive how deep it is that what's below me, or I
Directly
see
below you. The ladder descends
Direct.
into it.
Okay. I'm gonna see if this water is deep. Does someone still have a rope, just in case that's a thing that we need?
That's what I was gonna ask about. Is can I hitch a rope somewhere?
Yeah, I would say that there's at least an old fence post or something like that you could tie the rope to and toss the other
Okay.
down the hole.
Yeah.
I will. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Do I have to roll anything or?
You're good.
Okay, cool. My knots are incredible and secure.
I say I'm gonna do it, and I
Go for it.
You can do it, Glass!
okay, put a foot into the water.
You dip a toe in, goes in about an inch or so, and then 2 inches, 4, and at about 6 inches deep of water, you finally touch solid ground below it. It comes up to just above sort of your ankle line. And as you sort of now cast a glance backwards, you can see this large sort of cellar that you stand at, like sort of the entrance to, and beyond sort of where your vision ends, you can see an area where the ground slopes upward slightly and does give way to a dry shelf of land.
There's non-wet ground down here.
I turn to Ambrose and Bree and be like,
Are there
eh?
any zombies?
Not yet.
If there are zombies, we'll know how to deal with them.
Who's here?
All right, I'll head down the ladder as well with Winchester on my shoulder.
Okay.
I'll tell Winchester, you have dark vision and I don't. So if you see anything spooky that I don't see, just give me a little squeeze on the shoulder, okay?
And he sort of cocks his head strangely too far to one side and gives like a sharp little pet bite on one of your earlobes and sort of returns to his upright position. You don't know what
All
that
right.
means.
Cool.
I'm hungry.
I crave blood.
Just weird bird stuff. You descend the ladder and sort of both feet into about 6 inches of water, comes up to almost your knees, and as you sort of trudge through the water up onto dry land, you do find that sort of surrounded by these old, disused, many of them rotten barrels, there is plenty of shelter here. Away from the rain, away from the cold. It's not too bad down here.
See?
All right, I'm going to light a torch because I am not ready to hang out here for a while in the dark.
Yeah, I guess C was like the wrong question.
Ambrose, Oleander, are you making your way down as well?
Yep, we're making our way down as well.
Climb down the ladder.
I
and
will
make
go
your-
down last so that I can make sure to bring the horses over so they're not in the middle of the road.
Smart.
Okay. Yeah, you
I'm
can sort of
concerned.
pull them around into the. There's no driveway or anything like that for the house underneath which you are standing, but you are able to sort of bring them up next to the edge of this flagstone foundation that the house would have once sat upon. As you make your way down the ladder, you see Bree just sort of illuminated quickly by a few sparks, and then the oil and pitch on the end of one of your torches springs to life and gives a warm and welcoming orange glow to the interior here. You have a pretty good spot to hunker down for a little while.
Nice. Excellent. Y'all wanna post up? I could use at least a short rest. And I do have a thing that I need at least 1 hour to perform.
Yeah, you mentioned that. What's that all about?
thanks to our unfortunately late friend back there, I now have incense. And incense means I can bring Kevin back.
Oh, good.
Just to check, what's the ventilation situation down here?
The
You
open door through which you came.
Okay.
Probably not a great spot for a large fire, but a small one would probably just sort of trickle
I
out.
just need a little one, just a little tiny one.
I do.
Yeah, come on. Let's bring back Kevin. Bregus have a cool pet. I want a cool pet too.
Oh, he was an intern.
Your intern, you said before.
Intern and pet are basically the same thing.
If I was in an internship and someone
One looks better on a form,
their
the other one
pet,
doesn't.
I would kill them.
We can never let Kevin know this.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to learn leadership skills, there are just some things you don't share with the rank and file, all right?
I'm gonna like put my arm around Winchester's bird shoulders or whatever.
Boulders.
Yeah, boulders. And just tell him like, I don't think of you that way.
I'm having like war
There's
flashbacks.
sort of a few cocks of the head and some strange bird-like motions, but again, you're still sort of learning how this creature communicates.
That's right.
Cool.
How long would you like to post up here for? Just a short rest? A long rest?
Like a short rest.
I think a short rest. It's like the middle of the day, basically,
Yeah,
right?
it's probably like 10, 11
Short
a.m. at the latest.
Oh, okay. Good.
Actually, no. You guys traveled for a little while before you came across the card. It's probably like noon, maybe 1 o'clock. But yeah, as you sit down for your short rest, if anybody is spending hit die, go ahead and let me know how many you're spending and how much you roll with them. Additionally, Glass, if you're doing your Song of Rest to assist with that, you may. Other than that, Oleander, if you would like to take the hour to perform your ritual to revive Kevin.
First off, can I actually use a hit die to regain some HP?
Yeah, by all means.
I'm down some.
You should have 3 available to use, as many as you like.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna use.
Oleander,
I'm just gonna use 1 for now because if we run into those bandits later, then that might be more problems. Sorry.
just saying. One of my Song of Rest. If you're spending any, you get to roll an extra d6 from me.
Oh, cool. All right, I'll do that then.
Anyone who's rolling hit dice.
Sweet.
Cool. Thank you.
All
right.
And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna roll.
Okay. I will just say that. So, for my Song of Rest, I'll just give us a little highlights of our kills, and
Okay.
remember this, and give us a little.
Sick. The Taco Bell instant replay.
Yeah. just the Taco Bell.
That's so stupid.
Just the last dude just posing, getting hit by a triple magic missile, and exploding all over Oleander, and
That's right.
Winchester swooping in.
Me doing a
And
backflip.
you're doing this through your little illusions to show them, or just sort of telling
Yeah.
everybody? Cool.
Little minor.
Hey, I rolled a 6 on my regular 1d8 plus 1 is 7, and then on the d6 that Glass gave me, I got another 6, so that's 13 points, which brings me back to full health actually.
Awesome.
So nice.
No, you could roll another one if you wanted to.
Cool. And I will do that ritual.
Yes,
I start a little fire, maybe in one of the in the bottom of one of the barrels. Not out of the barrels, like a little controlled
Yeah, you're sort of able to
small-
take the top, the sort of round piece of wood that would form the top off of one, and overturn it and use that as sort of a platform to do that.
And I burn a little bit of incense, and I do some arcane mutterings of whatnot. Now this counts as a because I'm doing this not in the middle of battle. This counts as a ritual and not a spell, correct?
Correct. It does not consume a spell slot. And you also get your pact slot back because of the short rest.
Yes. I've got... Why does it still say my pact slots are not back yet? That's weird.
D&D
it says
Beyond can
move
be
my
funky sometimes. You can just unclick them.
Oh, okay, there we go. Cool. All right, pack slots are freed up.
Cool.
Okay, so I do that. I think I also have to give up 10 GP.
That is the 10 gold worth of incense that you're using.
Oh,
Instead of
okay.
buying it, it just consumes all of the incense.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, then I just use the incense. Fantastic. Okay. Mutter some arcane mutterings, and I... What's everybody doing while I'm doing this? This is taking an hour. It's taking a while.
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
Okay. Taking a little power nap.
Yes,
And then did you burn some hit die?
I did.
Okay. And then what'd you get back from that?
Yeah, I'm back up to 25.
Okay, cool. And you added your con modifier for each of them that you rolled?
Oh.
No, I did not.
I
Thank
think
you
that's
for
how
that.
that works.
That's just +2.
It will be per roll,
Yeah,
so
so-
+4. 29.
I'll take it.
Yeah, for each hit die spent this way, the player rolls the die and adds a character's constitution modifier to it. So if you have a +3 to your con, which I think you have a +2 or +3?
2.
+2.
+2.
So it'd be 2 plus the number of hit, or 2 times the number of hit die you spent, plus the total that you rolled with the dice.
So back up to 29.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
And then I don't think anybody else lost hit points, so we should be
Right.
all set.
So question, I didn't, but because I have arcane recovery, I
There you go.
can. It says I can choose expended spell slots clever to recover up to a combined level of 2. Does that mean I can do 2 level 1?
Yeah, you can do 2
Or-
firsts or 1 2. Yeah.
Okay. I'll recover 2 of my first levels then.
Cool.
I'm
yeah,
just
arcane
sleeping.
recovery is a big deal. It's super cool.
Okay.
Gives you a little bit of warlockiness, and then I think you just get. Do you get bardic inspiration back in a short rest? No.
No,
Not yet?
like, not till level 5.
That's right. Okay. Cool.
I'm just sitting.
Just sitting, playing, helping everybody. So, as the hour sort of drags on, Ambrose, you spend a little bit of time with your book, rearranging your spell slots for the day. Glass, you keeping everyone regaled with tales of the events that Bree uses to nod off to sleep. Oleander, what does the rest of your ritual look like?
Right. I've the muttering, the incense, it's all going on, and eventually, and after a while, strange markings start to glow in the backs of my hands. Little, they look like little tiny like eyes, like a tadpole or a fish's eyes, and they sort of glow brighter and brighter as the ritual continues. Finally, as things seem to come to a climax, the fire flares up with an eldritch light, and there is the sound of a distant bell chiming. A small one, but clearly audible, as if a carillon high in a church somewhere, or as an elevator in a high-rise.
Jesus Christ.
Fasten seatbelts.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the fire goes, whoosh, and Kevin just sort of bursts out of it and hops down from the middle of the bonfire.
I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for that description because that was awesome. And
Oh, thank you,
Kevin has rejoined the fight.
Kevin.
There he is.
Hey, guy. Sorry about that. That was a really good first run. You showed a lot of hustle, a lot of chutzpah, a lot of moxie getting in there. Very Smash Mouth head-to-head action there. We're gonna keep you ideally out of post-life scenarios like that in the future. But we super recognize your contribution to the team. And we're excited to continue working with you.
Listen, you don't gotta worry about sending me back to the Nine Hells for a little bit of a breather, because the material plane, not exactly my favorite. So anytime you want to pop me off there, trust me, you're doing me a favor. All right, what are we doing now?
If you're sure. Well, it's a
Kevin.
pleasure to have you back, Kevin.
Kevin, are you telling me that I can kill you, and you would enjoy it?
Not if I don't get to take you with me.
What?
Not if I don't get to take you with me.
Oh. You could never defeat me.
I'm fairly sure that, given time, Kevin could defeat you, Glass.
He sort of takes his glasses off and uses a part of his tie to clean a few of them and puts them back on.
Oh, I love my little goblin son. He's so good.
How big is Kevin compared to Winchester?
How big is Winchester again?
Like owl size?
Yeah, but like, is he like a super big owl or like an owl?
Owls are relatively large. He's slightly bigger than a normal owl. Not giant by any standard, but I'd say probably a good, maybe full 2, maybe 2.5 feet from like claw to the top of his head if he's sitting all the way straight up. Kevin is probably pretty close to about that height. So
the owl's still bigger, but Kevin is getting there. Yeah. They could definitely like face each other down.
You know, I have to say, this party still just feels, a little incomplete. River?
You just hear like a as like sort of poking its head out of the bag that you're sort of resting your head on at the moment, Bree, is the bedraggled, wet, and shivering face of the tiny miniature saber-toothed tiger.
That's
Ripper.
just sad.
Ripper, come out by the fire.
The cat sort of very cautiously pads its way out and just sort of curls up in the very tightest of curlicues right next to the fire and does its best to stay warm. You watch as it sort of takes one paw and does that over the face motion.
Too cute. I'm gonna die.
In character, I try not to cry. I'm close, though.
Guys, do you think we're like generations away, like related?
Yes. I mean, would I know?
I mean,
as a wizard, would I know this history fact?
Okay, as a satyr, do you like look at a goat and think, yeah, that's my grandpa?
Well, that's a really complicated question. I don't know if you want to know the answer to that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like literally like half demon, so like I'm a bad person to ask about this. Tieflings are directly the result of meddling in forces mortals were not supposed to ken, which is a fancy word for no. I mean,
do you look at like when you go to the general store and you see their little bottles of hot sauce and they have the little red guy with the horns? Do you look at that and say like, that's my grandpa?
I mean, yeah. Totally.
So yeah,
if I could get a shirt with that guy on it, I would.
So yes is all around. Okay.
Yeah.
So, right. Ambrose, go ahead and make a history check for me if you would.
Good. You need any of my spit?
11.
11. There's a visual similarity, but given sort of the rise of most of the humanoid races on Faerun and the world abroad and how each of them sort of has either been placed here or developed from other species that were brought into being by primal entities way back when. Possibly, if anything, the connection would be so distant that it would be millennia, if not hundreds of thousands of years old.
But that's not a no.
We're basically brothers.
Interesting. We should put a pin in that, and if we ever run into an Aarakocra, we can ask them about Westchester or Winchester, because I bet that's got to be a story.
Westchester.
Westchester. Sorry, I was talking about Pennsylvania earlier, and I was thinking about Westchester, Pennsylvania. You'll have to forgive me.
Lay it up.
It's the only time anyone's ever thought about Westchester.
That's true.
As the hour of your short rest is concluded, your ritual completed, and your bodies nourished with the sort of arcane magic of Glass's stories, and your rest. What would you like to do? You are now in the town of Conyberry. You recall that your instructions were to sort of pass through the town and make your way into the forest, into a thicket, to find this diviner, this ancient powerful being, or continue on in the direction of Wyvern Tor and do what you can to locate those responsible for the bandit attacks around here.
Well, it seems to
Y'all
me
wanna
like
go-
the... Oh, sorry.
Y'all want to go give a comb to a banshee?
Sure, I've never met a banshee before.
Yeah, what was the reward for that one? Friendship or some bullshit?
Friendship, probably, I think.
Yeah. She,
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
we should do it.
For Bree. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Why not? I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Listen. Well, the thing is, okay, so if I remember my chthonic myths correctly, banshees only shout at you if you are about to die. So if we don't hear any shouting from her, we're good.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And then she's just,
Yeah,
just another interesting species of person to get to know. And a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the weather looking like?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Still raining, probably.
The rain is still coming down, as
Does it?
hard as it has been since the morning time.
Ew.
Damn,
It's a wet one out there.
as they say.
We gotta learn like a
Is that what
spell
they
of
say?
poncho or something.
Yeah, umbrella spell.
Funny about that.
So, bro.
What, does spell of poncho exist?
No, but there's some stuff later that would be great right now, but I don't have access to.
Summon
Freaking
chair.
Ninth level summon chair.
My spell book angrily.
Dispel rain.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here.
Oh yeah, at ninth level, get that shit out of here.
The spell words are "fuck off." Just yelled into the sky.
Cow. Cow.
That's right.
As you all climb the rickety ladder and make your way back onto the surface, your momentary bit of your body's going from being soaked to just mostly damp returns them almost immediately to being soaked again.
Great.
You
like
find
a
your
cold
horses in your cart and see that there is a main thoroughfare that sort of branches off of the Tribord Trail, which sort of bisects and goes right through the town, that leads off in the westerly direction towards the bank of gnarled oak and twisted spruce trees that forms this sort of dark, almost foreboding forest in that direction. Following Sister Garrely's directions, you know this to be the direction of Agatha's lair.
It's a thicket if I've ever saw one.
Yeah.
All right, so we know this oracle lady is obsessed with beauty, and that she's like maybe a little temperamental.
Mhm.
So let's yeah, maybe Glass can go first
I wasn't. No, why would I go first?
because you're the prettiest.
That's a good idea. But
Yeah.
you should go because you're really beefy.
Wow.
Glass knows how to talk to a woman.
I love that Glass doesn't even have hair.
Good.
You have the comb? No, I'll go. Okay, I'll go. It's the good if I have the comb, and I'll do it.
Awesome. All right, so we're asking her about a book.
Oh yeah, what am I? What are books?
Was it a spell book?
Shit.
Ask. I think I wrote it.
It's some sort
Okay.
of thing to do with your little love and peace, happy time religion thing, or whatever you were doing back there.
Okay.
Bojangles?
Yeah.
Oh, gentle, yeah.
Yeah, Bojangles.
Yeah. Ask.
Bojangles the
lady-
mage.
Stored next to the hidden and forbidden comb of Zaxby's.
How do they make their sweet tea? Okay, ask Lady Agatha.
There's an auction catalog we've been trying to find. Yeah, Bojangles.
Yeah. Bojangles book.
Yeah, you basically recall that what Sister Garrily had told you was that this creature is a extraordinarily powerful diviner and is capable of pretty much answering any question, and that she has asked you to ask it this question. So,
Gotcha.
are you venturing towards the woods then?
Yeah.
Yes.
With Glass in the lead.
Alrighty. As you are taking the cart or leaving it where it sits at the moment?
I could leave it. Probably okay.
Yeah.
Tucking it away, making sure the horses are lashed to one of the fence posts that you had attached the rope to previously.
You don't think horses will like banshees, guys?
Probably not, even though they are the visions of beauty.
Yeah. Sorry.
The
go
horses
on.
were coming, I just happened to go first.
I wasn't clearing my throat to say anything. I just have a tickle. Pardon me.
Oh, please don't die.
As you make your way through the sort of bones that lay there, the remnants of Conyberry, and out of the edge of town towards the forest, you enter the woods, and the rainfall on your head and shoulders gives way to a more steady dripping of moisture from the canopy overhead. The path here is covered in a thin layer of pine needles and dead leaves that squish underfoot, and it's eerily silent. No animals can be heard, just rainfall and silence. It's dark here. The canopy overhead blocks out much of the already dim light. And as the narrow path sort of twists and turns for a moment, giving you this loss of sense of direction, just sort of darkened trees everywhere, you get a bit disoriented. Eventually, it straightens out into a long, straight stretch that strikes all of you as something nothing short of a fairy tale. On either side of the road here, as it stretches forward for a ways, garlands of brightly colored flowers hang from branches above, seemingly radiating color in the darkened forest. The garlands are decorated with all manner of objects. Ribbons tied into bows, silverware dangling on string, colored glass bottles, silver and copper, baubles, rings, and coins that glitter despite the absence of light here. The meticulously, purposely decorated approach culminates at the end of the road in a massive structure unlike anything any of you have seen before. A dome, nearly 80 feet wide and half as tall, is woven from branches and trees that are still rooted in the earth, like a living, twisted, overturned wicker basket. Verdant mosses and bright patches of wildflowers punctuate the rain-slicked brown of the chaotically but somehow purposefully woven exterior of this dome. And where the pathway that lies ahead of you meets the edge of this dome is a large archway, nearly 10 feet wide and twice as tall, that forms an opening in the side of the dome. Inside this archway, it is fully apparent that the dome is hollow, and this faint bluish light instantly reminds you of the bioluminescent fungus that you had found in the unexplored section of Cragmaw Cavern that you had already encountered, and it provides an oddly welcoming sight.
That's
Nice
beautiful.
place.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's maybe 30, 40 yards ahead of you down this strangely decorated thoroughfare.
Should we all go in? Should I go in and you wait outside? What do we?
I think
Going in hand in hand is probably good, but not literally.
I think that
Just close to each other.
I think that we should be as non-threatening as possible, and part of that should be not having any allies hiding in the bushes outside.
I think
Okay.
I had asked about the Harpers before, but as a wizard, how much would I know about Agatha and this whole book business? I think I had asked about like if the Harpers were evil, essentially. But I don't
Yeah,
think I
you had asked before about the Harpers. Basically, what you remembered or knew was that they are kind of good guy boogeymen in that they are almost untraceable. There's not much written about them aside from the fact that they tend to kind of work from the shadows and make sure that no power threatens to become too powerful or uses any sort of magical objects for their own ill gain. However, regarding Agatha, this is not a name that you're familiar with,
Okay.
or anything like that. It's not some sort of a legend or anything that's been written about before.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
I also, sorry, not to retcon too much, but I should have asked this before. Do I know anything about the Harpers?
Make a history check for me.
Okay.
I would not say that from personal experience. No, you do not.
Okay.
If that's what you were asking.
13.
You know about as half as much as I told you that Ambrose knew.
Okay.
Because I think he rolled like a 24 or 25 or something. So.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
Yeah.
Well, shall we?
Let's
Yeah.
everybody look as non-threatening as possible.
Before we go through the threshold of the dome, I'm going to, give a polite hello. Maybe come in.
It's quiet. You don't hear any sort of a response as you sort of stand at the entrance to the dome and glance around in the blue-green light here. You're faced with this kind of strange and overwhelming sense that you're underwater in a way. Overhead, hanging from the interior of the dome, are bits of glass and bottles that hang from strings everywhere, and they glitter like little stalactites that sort of slowly turn in the absence of wind, and they spread these dancing patches of light that reflect through them off the ground, giving the appearance of the seafloor before you. The light, you can see, is, as you assumed, spread by these small clutches of bioluminescent fungi that cling to the interior, that look cultivated and almost set about in a pattern here. It is obvious that where you now stand before is a sort of a home. Even glancing ahead, you can see that it's sparsely furnished with chests, standing shelves. There's a table with a few chairs around it, a old reclined couch. All of it is old, and Oleander, you recognize from your more wealthy upbringing that much of these furnishings are of distinctly elven craft. It is warm in the interior as you step through the threshold, and it provides very welcome shelter from the rain outside. But as your hello rings in the air, you do not hear any response.
I
Can I follow up with just a "We've come with a gift for you"?
Pause for a moment. The wicker-like interior of this massive overturned basket doesn't seem like it should reflect sound in the way that it does, but your voice echoes here for a moment. And then all of you shiver for a second as the air around you grows cold, and your breath is now clearly visible, the warmth of the interior now immediately gone. There is a powerful and almost sickeningly overwhelming sense of dread that sort of claws at all of your stomachs for a moment. And in the center of the chamber, suspended maybe 10, 15 feet above the ground, a small, flickering, pale light pops into existence. And then it flashes, and in the darkness, almost blinds you for a moment. And as your eyes adjust and your vision recovers, you see, hovering before you, the form of a female elf, hovering in the air, as an unfelt and invisible spectral wind blows her long bluish-white hair and robes in graceful, slow motions, further adding to the sense that everything around you is suspended in a liquid rather than air. Her face is this gaunt, delicate set of severe cheekbones and high elven features, and has all the markings of beauty. But as you glance towards her face and make out her expression, it is twisted into this hateful look of fury and hatred, and it's terrifying.
Foolish mortals. What do you want here? Do you not know it is death to seek me out?
Lady Agatha, you bless us with your presence. I'm not looking at her. I'm looking like kind of down in deference. And we come bearing a gift on a mission to ask you a question, if you will have us. But we mean you no disrespect, and if you wish us to leave, we shall.
The scowling face of the ghostly vision smiles with this sort of cold amusement that plays across her face, and her twisted expression slowly unravels and softens a bit. Her shoulders lower, and she glides over towards you, a few inches away, and in a very soft voice just says, "You say that you have brought me a gift."
I'll dig the comb out of my pack.
I was assuming that you had already given it to me since you said I was going to be the... But I guess I only established that in my head.
Okay.
Whatever we want to do. I don't care. Either way, it is given to her by me or he hands it over to me.
Deferentially present it to her.
As you sort of hold it out to her, she plucks the silver comb gently from your hand and then sort of turns it over, and you can see now as she holds the object, her hands themselves are semi-transparent. She admires it. Very well. I know that you seek many things. I am ancient, and I have seen many things. What few things I do not know from my own memories and experiences, I can access through the magic and power of divination. As such, seekers of many things, you may ask me one question, and I shall give you a truthful answer. But choose your question carefully. And that is where we'll go ahead and end tonight's episode.
How do you make the double die?
Oh
give you
no!
all
I got a week to think about this.
A week to think about what question or questions will race through your characters' minds as you think of the one thing that you want to know more than anything in the world.
Do we each get a question, or I thought it was just Bree with the?
I thought we all got one question.
Oh, I thought it was one.
It is one question total.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna
But if
say,
we come back later with mustaches on,
yeah.
What would be the
Yes,
easiest
the powerful
way to
ancient
get more
diviner
questions
fooled by
out of you?
mustache.
That's right.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Oh boy.
Do you have a bathroom in here? Oh shit!
Oh man.
God,
how many questions do we get?
it wasn't. It
One.
wasn't until
Goodbye.
you had just said that, Evan, that I was like, "Oh shit!" There's so many other questions I want to ask.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like, what does Glass want to know?
Damn.
So this should be.
I mean, the other thing is like, do you want to know where the Book of Bojentals is, or do you want to essentially use that furbolg friend of yours as goodwill and just ask a selfish question instead?
Damn.
Yeah, this is
Good call.
probably the single most campaign-shaping thing that you will figure out
Oh,
here.
Oh,
Because,
awesome.
just saying, you
No
could
pressure.
you could cut a lot of hard work out for yourselves if you ask the right question here, or you could be good people and do as you were asked when you came here.
Shit.
Damn you.
My alignment is good, but sometimes you want to be a little bad.
Aren't you just tired of being nice, Ambrose? Don't
Okay,
you just want to
also,
go
I'm
ape
pretty
shit?
sure- I'm pretty sure I get to ask a question because I'm the prettiest.
How can we decide that you're the prettiest?
I don't know. Glass
All right.
is
I mean, it is
Before-
very true. Glass is extremely pretty, but like,
Before we get
I can
carried
see
away,
myself more,
I do want to
yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead and read everybody's donations from tonight. We are now at $2,135, so thank you so much,
Wow,
everybody, for your
right.
donations.
right.
Our first one of the evening was from Kirk for $30. Thank you so much, Kirk. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
No
Kirk,
message with that
thank
one,
you.
but we appreciate it.
Kirk.
And then we have a donation from Winchester, who leaves the comment, hoo-hoo.
Oh, out time, baby.
Awesome. Thank you,
Amazing.
Winchester.
And then $20 from a boyfriend with a couple heart
Yay.
emojis. Thanks, boyfriend.
Thanks, boyfriend.
And
Not
that
my boyfriend. Kiyu's boyfriend. Or Evan's
that's okay.
boyfriend.
It's a public
All of our
term. That's
boyfriends.
fine. And that, I think, wraps up tonight's episode. We will be back here again to figure out what's going on with this cliffhanger next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch, as we always do. Are there any other things that anybody wants to discuss before we call it an evening?
Oh, if just a this isn't really much of a thing to discuss, but like if you have any other friends who are into like D&D stuff, like if you could like find like one friend this week and tell them about our show and tell them about how like we're fun and cool and stuff, you
Just
know.
convince one person.
City.
Right, because we're still like we're kind of in the like
Baby stages.
and we want to Katamari more and more people onto this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Eventually,
yeah. Any little bit helps. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's an awesome sentiment. Try to bring a friend next week. That's everybody's
Yeah.
D&D homework. And
And yes, thank you. I see Webster says that they're trying. Yes, thank you for even just asking friends. You know,
Yeah, thank you.
oh, thanks, Webster. Appreciate it.
Webster, you've been a big supporter since day one, and we really appreciate that.
Definitely.
Yeah, really.
Yes, threat of force. I
Also,
agree.
cats are naturally the prettiest, I have to admit.
Good.
Alrighty. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming. We appreciate you all. We love you. We'll see you next week. And take care till then. Be safe, be good.
Good night.
Night.
Bye. Bye.